We took a long break. We, of course, celebrated the holidays. If you celebrate the holidays, we celebrated the holidays. We celebrated a new year, and we're into a different year, V15. We're into 2024. We left, of course, the rest of this season in 2023, and we're going to finish it off in 2024. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the Rising Star Play-Ins. This is where it all comes down to who's going to have a good day.
Yeah, you've heard of easing into the year, a nice relaxing start to 2024. Happy New Year to everyone out there as well. And we're jumping straight into what realistically is the last online games of the season. Who are the last two teams out of the top remaining 8, aside from the previous qualifiers from last week's, a couple of weeks ago's major? 2 teams are going to be looking tonight to book their tickets to River Falls and face off head-to-head in person next week, which is crazy to even say. The season just flew by that we're already at land time, but it's gonna be an exciting night for sure.
And you see the bracket, you see how it's all come down to how it's all been manufactured. So far we've sent 2 teams, obviously 2 auto qual spots, V15 like normal. For all leagues, if you get in the top 2, you auto qual into Atlanta. You don't have to play this gauntlet that we're showing on screen currently, because it is a gauntlet, especially for the 4 teams down below. You see the Jungles and the Maulers, you see the Atlas and the Inferno. They're going to have to make a run all the way through. The good news, though, for the Knights, Steelhawks, and Miracles and Rangers is that, yes, they're all best of 7s, but this is... you're in a way better spot, V. I don't know if you experienced play-ins in the past, but if you were in that upper bracket and you make that upper qual, if you lose it, you still have another life. You go down to the lower qualification match, and it's a massive advantage if you can get to that upper qual match, because you essentially get 2 qualification matches / chances in a row. And if you don't go 1 for 2, unfortunately your season's done. But you're in the best possible spot out of anybody else. So obviously we have the first match we're gonna have is the Knights and the Steelhawks to see who goes to that upper qual. But it's an advantage V15 that I think some of these teams are going to be thinking about. But the 2 auto qual teams that made it through were the St. Cloud Flyers and the Brainerd Victory. And shout out to the Victory. They made a run in the major and were able to get enough points to go up to the top. These are the 8 teams that have survived. Make sure you pay attention, obviously, to the bracket as the night progresses. I don't know, V15, what's your predictions for who's going to make it through? But for me, I have the Jungle making it through all the way in the bottom side. That would be a run to make, but I have faith in them to do that. But I also have the Knights actually making it through the top side.
I think those are 2 very strong predictions. I mean, if you have the Jungle, we saw in the major, the Jungle making it all the way to the finals, and unfortunately falling to the St. Cloud Flyers, who are arguably, I think, potentially without contention, the best team in Rising Star, deservedly qualifying alongside the Brainerd Victory. And I do rate the Green Bay Knights side. This matchup is going to be really interesting. I'm also interested in the lower side that's not going to be on stream, which is the Jungle versus Bloomington. We've heard a lot about the strength of that Bloomington side. Unfortunately, during that major, they were knocked down in round 5 by these Green Bay Knights, which was quite the gauntlet. They also faced off against the Jungle, against a Mankato team, so I think they had quite the tough run in the qualifying, but one of those teams is going to get knocked out, and you did reference that it is a gauntlet for those lower bracket teams, and it definitely is. It's a position that shows the value of performing during the league season, which I think is very beneficial. It keeps teams into it, but we're seeing a lot of chances coming out right away by this side. Paul is just off the post, and I mean it's starting off early in this game 1 of a feisty best of 7.
And these are the 4 versus 5 V like we talked about. So saying feisty is like the absolute the best, absolute best possible match that I think we could have picked besides the 3 versus the 6, but the 4 versus the 5, the Green Bay Knights on the blue side, the number 4 seed achieved the number 4 seed in the season through their major and through the season play. And the Steelhawks taking the number 5 seed just behind them, sniffing at their heels. So if you're for the Steelhawks, you have to kind of wish you did a little bit better in the season, because you maybe wouldn't have run into the Green Bay so early. But yeah, Jason Wolf saying V15 is goated, or saying Knights and Captuna Cat is goated. V15 is goated, but who's a little bit better is Cloudy, and he has to be the playmaker for Fargo. And so far he has. He scored the first goal for the Steelhawks.
Definitely. I think he is definitely one of the stronger players. We obviously talk about Mal as a all-around player, but Cloudy is really showing what he has, and right there with a great double touch. And actually, just checking through, and speaking of Mal, he now gets his goal, doubling the advantage for this Fargo side. And you don't have to look back too long to see when these teams last played each other, because they played in the quarterfinal round of the major, and Fargo took that series 4-1, which looks quite comfortable, and definitely something that's going to be weighing on the minds of this Green Bay Knights side, who have found success, particularly in offense. And we haven't seen any of that at this game so far. Only 2 shots for this Knights side, whereas Steelhawks are currently sitting at 6 shots. So they're really pressing the issue and maybe carrying some of that momentum that they were able to pick up during the major, where they made it quite past handily against this Green Bay side. And we're seeing more handy conversions here as Cloudy doubles his goal tally.
Yeah, and it's a 3-0 lead now for Fargo, who have pretty much poured it on. They haven't really let up, have been stuck in the Green Bay side for a majority of this game. And I mean, who's going to be the catalyst for Green Bay to get them out of this slump? You know, the game 1 start is not the best so far, but maybe you get a chance here off the backboard. But Mal has the ball cleared all the way down the field. And I mean, it's more Rocket League as the night progresses. If you're in the upper bracket, you obviously still have another life. These 2 teams have each another life, as Captuna Cat has pop-up air dribble but doesn't really go anywhere with it. It's easily turned away by Green, or by Fargo, and now Fargo have another chance all the way down the field. But another collection of the midfield for Green Bay that they just can't get, or they aren't able to put through, and they don't have a ton of time to work with now as this game is running out. You love to see S-Babes show up in play-ins, because this is just such a great play. Gets around the last defender and is able to kind of just walk the ball into the net, and you cut the lead by 2, but you still have a little bit of work to do. And if you're on the side of Fargo, you would not want to squander away a 3-goal lead to start off your play-ins bracket. But Cloudy understands that. Great air dribble over the top. Looks to dunk Sonny into the net, but to make the save and keep the chance up. Bob Slinger's touch goes awry and gets away from him all the way down the field. Mal will collect and save his boost. And it's interesting. I wrote down, are any of these teams land ready V15? I can't really answer that question at this point, but the team that looks land ready is Fargo.
Yeah, I agree. And I don't know if it's them able to push this issue and they're doing it themselves, or it feels just a bit sluggish from the Knights. There's a lot of space. We saw that mistouch from Bob Slinger that just went towards his own net, and there was no one pressing that. Just giving Mal enough room to do what he wanted with the ball. And it could come down to, I think, in this situation, nerves. You're playing in the upper bracket, and we've mentioned already that it is vital to win this series, because if you win it, you're guaranteed to have 2 shots at making land. And if you can't convert on 2 shots of making land, it's it's you had
You're
your
just not meant to be.
Exactly, you had your opportunity and you weren't able to convert it. But if you lose this series, you're gonna have to go down the lower bracket, play against a team that just won a series, and then you're gonna have to play another series and then another series, and that is just gonna extend your play time. You're playing a lot of best of sevens. You never really know how much like stamina, how locked in you can be for 3-4 hours when you're playing. So
exactly.
I think that could be tying into how some of these players are viewing this and feeling the pressure, because this is really what the past, who knows, 4 or 5 months have come down to, and it's looking like the Seahawks came prepared.
Yeah, but quite a bit of goals here. 6 in the first game. Cloudy, I am gonna check the scoreboard really quickly, V. And my guy has 4 goals. He has 817 points in the first game. Has definitely come prepared to this series, and it's interesting that you know we talk about preparedness. These teams have had so much time over this break. It has been, I mean, what was the last time we played? Maybe December 16th, I'm thinking, was the date, something like that. That's over half a month ago, and these teams have had so much time to prepare. I don't know how much time they took over the break, but game 1 taken by the Steelhawks, they obviously have put in a little bit of work, because they look very, very dangerous on the offensive side of the ball. Now taking game 1, you have to think that, you know, I really just think it was like it was a go next situation for Green Bay after they gave up probably the 4th goal or the 5th goal even. It's like, you know, we'll concede, they beat us, they took us down, but there's still plenty of series to play. And you talk about stamina, you're going to have to play again, like you said. You lose here, you go down into the front half of you don't go into lower round 1, which is good, but you go down to lower round 2, and you know, we had to alter the stream match, so now we're streaming the loser of this match against the winner of the bottom side quarterfinal of lower round 1. So you go up against a team that's hungry, that wants to, you know, they just won. They're playing for their life, and you have to think if you lose here, it's a mental check for sure.
Definitely, and the mental tone has been set already. An impressive game 1 from Fargo, and all these factors that we're bringing up, how Fargo had just beaten them during the major, Fargo's outgunning them on offense. All these things are setting the tone where it's making it hard for these Knights to figure out what they need to do differently, and they need to find out how the synergy works. You referenced that we've had a break in between, and it could be reverting back to maybe just some teams that were able to run games, able to keep that chemistry going, or maybe some teams that just have found success, maybe like in the start of the season, where they're just naturally used to the play styles, they haven't had to work in finding synergy, and are just able to win games. And that just feels like what Fargo's done. I don't know how many scrims they've been able to take away, but that is just what you need. And a name that we haven't said so far tonight, Captain Cat, as listed in game right now. This is the goal scorer. This is guy is averaging 1.3 goals a game. So if someone is going to need to get hot for this night side, it's going to be him.
It's the person that's going to beat you. It's the league leader in goals per game, and that is obviously, if you look at the stats, there are players that are above Captain Cat, but they've only played 1 game, or 1 or 2, let alone not even 2 series. It's 1 series. So you have to think that this is the Green Bay player that's going to beat you, but still, you've got some great players on the side of Green Bay. That's just a fake that comes out. Captain Cat extends the lead to 2. Sonny throws a faking in chat, and he was never making contact with this ball. I think he was trying to, but wasn't going to get any touch on the ball to begin with. Fargo fell for the tricks, and 2-0 lead Green Bay have kind of reversed the order now. Maybe it's their turn to win 6-1, B.
Yeah, that's exactly what they need here. Keep putting their shots away and putting a lot more pressure. It hasn't been as sustained as we saw previously with Fargo, but they're able to generate the chances. They're starting to outpace these beats as we see Sunny beat that one out. Sharkbite shooting back post, and now it's 3. We've already praised the goals per game for Captuna Cat, and want to praise the shooting percentage of Sharkbite as he's now 1 for 1 on the season. He's at 41.3% shooting. That is, if you're giving him a shooting opportunity, there's that half chance that's going in. I would take that any day. That's a crazy thing to keep up.
Indeed. Especially when you look at the league average, the league average is not great, but Sunny again throws out a fake, and I just don't think he was making contact with this one. Probably ran out of boost. Yeah, definitely did, or didn't read the bounce, but Captain Cat extends the lead to 4. This is a complete and utter reversal from the first game. Now it's Green Bay on the offensive foot. The shoe is on the other foot. The proverbial plane is tipped a different direction, and now you have Fargo on their back foot for now in the second game of the series. Like we've talked about so many times, is how important it is to win this first series of your night and start off right. And if you lose, you're going down to a bracket where teams of killers just surround you, and they're so hungry for a chance to take down one of these teams that took away their upper bracket spot. And you think of teams like Chicago, Bloomington, who have had so many game 5s this season, where if they were able to pull out half of those game 5s, they would be in this upper bracket spot. They want revenge, but Cloudy Lechever has the first one on the board for Fargo, extends his scoring streak, and now has, I believe, 5 goals in 2 games on the series.
Yeah, an impressive run so far from Cloudy in these series. He's ready to play, and just we need to see some good passing play off the backboard. And of course, yeah, mentioning how these teams both want to dodge lower bracket. And what a double by Cloudy. Can't quite get around that one. I've been given a good chance this Fargo side. There's still a minute 40 left, so they do need to get some goals flowing, and that was a great chance there. Just couldn't quite fit central enough. But a lot of these lower bracket teams, in a way, I feel like they have nothing to lose. I think there's nothing to lose if you're in the lower bracket. If you have a decent season, if you're not really running away with anything, as we see Captain Cat now gets his own game with 4 goals, trying to run up the score like Cloud did last time out, and getting up to 5-1. I'm shocked that this game is completely flipped on its head.
This is like just a reversal. It's like we flipped the teams around. It's like it's literally like we took the same team and put them on the other side. But I don't get it. I don't understand how that's even possible. As 5 are on the board for the Green Bay Knights, who have an answer in this series. It's good to see they're not rolling over and dying beat. They're not, getting 3-4 games put on them in a row. And now with only 55 seconds left in this game, you have to think that experience has to come into play. Mal has tons of it. Bobslinger, I believe, only a rookie or a second season player. Cloudy has tons of experience, along with Sunny, who is probably the most in this entire lobby, and that has to play a factor, as he has got to get his team in a winning position. So far with this game, has done exactly that, and has allowed them to really crawl back in. And now Fargo pressing the advantage with only 20 seconds left. They have to find 4 in what seems like an impossible task, but Bobslinger is going to give it a shot.
Yeah, they gave him the room to shoot it. They're testing him. Work on those shooting packs. I don't think that's probably not what he had planned up, but he'll take it any day of the week. Good scoping. And yeah, I'm not too familiar with the whole list of the players on the Knights, but I believe Captuna Cat and Sharkbite both might be rookies.
I think you're correct.
Having that experience of Sunny is huge, and that could be him providing some leadership for his team, and it went into this palm them down. It's under pressure situation, and I mentioned just last game setting the tone for the Steelhawks team, and the Knights have completely thrown that out the window and coming through with a big 5-2 win. I mean, Captain Cap 4 goals, 7 shots, Sonny with 4 assists, and it wasn't as many shots as we saw the Steelhawks cook up last game, but the conversion rate is impeccable.
And, you talk about the shooting percentage really starting to eke in the favor of Green Bay. Obviously, Fargo had that incredible game one, had a lot of converted goals that they were able to put away, and now in this third game, who takes the advantage? So far, it's Bobslinger. 4 seconds in, beats the player on the kickoff, and I think backflipped, and Sharkbite wasn't expecting it, as Sharkbite just is beat to the ball.
Yeah, just outpaced. We're already seeing the flip once again now with the Steelhawks now going to run away with game 3. It's setting themselves up well, and again off the kickoff, Mal takes to the skies, trying to get a dunk, double commit there from the Knights.
Whoa!
But wow, Cloudy looking for a quick pass in the middle on that touch. This is a whole completely different game. This ball's coming out to the middle. Mal's an open net, can't quite get around it. Oh, Sharkbite can't get the read, and the slow touch from Mal. Wow, already 2 quick goals from Fargo. Thought he maybe missed his opportunity here, but gets the read and the drop touch to double the lead.
And in a very short amount of time, there's been 2 goals by Fargo, who are off to a hot start, have completely reversed game number 2. And we're back to this situation where one team is just dominating. They're trading at this point as Cloudy foot reset stays on the ball, but can't get it by that last defender. And that's one thing that you're gonna see is teams have obviously worked individually on how well they can play. As Sonny will get that first on Green Bay, won't let this game hopefully not be a blowout, but Mal has been good so far for his team, has been creating a lot of the offense, has been winning a lot of the 50s on the front half of the ball. Fargo in a prime place to take a series advantage again, but you still have 4 minutes on the board for Green Bay.
Yeah, plenty of time for Fargo to take over, and we have been singing the plaudits of Cloudy so far just because of that goal scoring run, but it is all of his teammates setting him up perfectly, getting these opportunities, and probably Mal has been great at getting these touches offensively and keeping up that pressure. As Mal here trying to get this one around, intercepted by Sharkbite. Captain Cat trying to find something in the middle, nothing quite there. This ball coming out into the middle, just sitting for Mal to blast this one over. Sonny needs a touch, great touch there, and drops it out wide. Takes it out of the danger zone, which is huge. But again, another big offensive 50, and maybe we're seeing a bit of a lull of the scoring finally once it's hit game 3, as the paces that these contests are coming through, and again, just Sonny outpacing the Fargo side, able to get this touch around and catching the rotation in a bit of a lull, and we're even once again after that quick onslaught earlier on by Fargo.
And obviously you talk about what needs to be done for Green Bay. They've answered and not letting this game get away from them like previous games have done for either of these teams. So if you're Fargo, you need to clean up how you're saving the ball. Obviously, saves just need to be better for them. You talk about plays where you hit the ball to the corner and it is able to move wide of the net rather than directly in front of your net. And it's important for how these teams save the ball. If they save it to the corner, that's good. If they save it directly up the middle of the field, that's really bad, because it more often than not leads to a better chance for the other opposing team to score. And Sharkbite chasing a bump on Bobslinger won't find anything. Buddy with a clear down the field. Gonna put it over Sharkbite. Bobslinger has a chance, but can't really put the ball back in the front half of the box. 2 players commit from Fargo. Mal is alone, tail between his legs, just to get the ball away, and we'll do that. Cloudy has a free net, and this one's just gonna find its way in.
It's the second time there's just been an chance for Fargo where the ball is just sitting in the middle of the field and nobody's in the net just to shoot for. Cloudy this time pinging it off the crossbar and sending it through. And yeah, I agree with your point where, I mean, we were talking about this is Rising Star upper bracket, so both these teams do have the ability to locate and place their saves, their touches, their passes. We can be a bit judgmental and expect a lot out from these teams because they've found quite a lot of success to be the 4th and the 5th seed. They just need to apply it here because we're at the tier where it's not going to be just one and done chances. It's going to be this sustained pressure. If they get a beat out, it's going to need to be a clear. It's going to need to be a launch to stop the counters. And we're seeing it so far with Fargo this game, able to sustain a bit more pressure than Green Bay, but is finding success in the counterattacks. And they will need to find one coming up here soon as Sunny takes this one out from the back. Captain Cat gets that. That's a big demo on the third man. Is anyone shooting on this one? Not able to follow it up quite fast enough. Bobslinger now. What a great fake on Shark Bite. Slows it down. Looks for the demo. Can't quite find that one. But some great looks here. And I think Fargo, as we've seen with some fakes, some touches, some strategic moves, both teams are seeming to settle down a bit and really finding their groove in this game 3.
Fargo has had the better chances when Cloudy has been behind the ball. Sunny, good 50-50 to win it to Captain Cat, but ball going to be taken away now with only 50 seconds left. Fargo pressing the advantage of a 1-goal lead, not letting Green Bay out of their half, but Captain Cat has been dangerous as well with the ball in their car, but Cloudy has been more influential for his team, has scored in pretty much every game, and obviously put up 4 in the first one, and now in the second one, obviously didn't have enough as he was the only person who scored, I believe, for his team. And this game, the thing this is an outlier game, V, because we haven't had a close game yet. This is a close game as Cloudy presses with only 15 seconds left, trying to kill the clock for Fargo and put him on an advantage in the series. Bobslinger off the backboard. Mal has a free shot. Sunny, though, going to have it away. Only 30 seconds as he's chased and demoed. 3 seconds. Captain Cat can't even keep it up, and Steelhawks up 2-1.
Now we're seeing the two teams show what they've got. The first close match that we've had, usually was just trading blows, and this time we saw the Steelhawks get out to an early lead. We saw especially Sunny get out and pull his Knights back into tying it up, but in the end, it was an open shot from midfield that Cloudy was able to put away to finalize the advantage and convert that game 3 into a win for the Steelhawks and giving them this opportunity. Now only 2 wins away from making that upper bracket final, from facing off for a chance to qualify for this LAN. So I'm interested to see as these games progress, if the level of play will stay where we're at right now, or if some people might be getting a little bit nervous again on either side. If you are back against the wall potentially with this Knights team, can you play under this pressure? And if you're the Seahawks, can you convert? Can you finish the job that you need to put yourself in the best scenario? Because when it all comes down to it, whoever can convert under the pressure is deserving to go to LAN, and we're seeing 2 players who are finding that synergy here. Once again, another great setup from Mal for Cloudy this time.
Mal and Cloudy have been so good, and I think that you just need to, understand that they are playing their best Rocket League at the best possible moment of the season, V. This is where it matters the most. This is where you get to that in-person tournament and go to River Falls and play for that trophy and the medals and the glory. But now, if you're Fargo, you're still, a little bit out, still have some work to do, but you're one step closer to that ultimate goal. For Green Bay, it's got to be a reversal of fortune. Can they get it going? So right now, Fargo holding that line in the midfield. They're not letting anything through, and when they do, it turns into a free possession again for Mal and Cloudy.
Yeah, they're doing a great job. Oh, what a pass from Mal there. He is just setting up both of his teammates so well. This time, Captain Cat and Espes were able to get in front of that one, but great play from Mal here. They're really generating their chances so well. It feels like the goals that the Knights are putting away are just outpacing some of the touches by Fargo, and that feels a lot easier to beat.
Ooh.
But maybe not, because if Captain Cat can show this pace on these touches, a rocket of a pass from S-Waves and a great read into the top corner, and just like that, we're all evened up.
He switches. He's in the Lightning McQueen car for the second game where they decimated Fargo. He's in game 3 without it, and they lose the game. Now he's in game 4, and he puts it on and looking to obviously even up the game, but has a goal there, and a Shark Bite, a free shot. Tries to put it back post. Cloudy turns it away. Cloudy has had a great series so far. Has been the offensive catalyst that Fargo has needed. Mala has been right there with him, giving them a lot of the opportunities as they run into each other. But Cloudy has a shot off the backboard, and Bob Slinger did collect, finds Cloudy in midfield, but Captain Cat once again stepping up for Green Bay. And it has been just Captain Cat. Shark Bite obviously has one goal, but or maybe a couple, I don't remember, but really, Sonny hasn't lit the lamp as much, has been involved with the offense a little bit, but it's been Captain Cat to press the advantage that Green Bay is trying to find.
Definitely. It's been a show of these two, Cloudy and Captain Cat, and Sonny facilitating, getting some big goals in the previous game, but not able to do quite enough. And
Not enough.
it just shows you the class of slow play there from Captain Cat. Oh my gosh, how does that go through? And Shark Bite's there. Yo, wow, he's taking it. Oh, I would take that any day of the week. How does Captain Cat take it past 3 here? Oh, it's tough to watch.
And of course, it's Cloudy. Mental check time. Hopefully he lets that one go, V. He doesn't think about it too much. But able to just press the ball through his Captain Cat. Gets by that first defender, gets by the second one, and then Cloudy's last back, sitting on his back line, and Captain Cat just kind of taps the ball at him and says, "Here you go. See what what can you do with it?" And Cloudy doesn't exactly make contact with it, so turns into a free goal for Shark Bite, who gets the lead for Green Bay, looking to even us up at 2 games apiece and go into that game 5 and decide who goes on to match point. But if Fargo can pull this out, it would be huge for them to be up 3-1 in this series.
Yeah, this would be huge. So many opportunities to close it out, but they need to find us something here in this game 4. They're getting the chances. The ball's in this attacking area. Big save and follow from Shark Bite. Captain Cat there, able to get that one. Cloudy sends it off to the right. They're looking for some demos, trying to double this advantage to give them a bit more safety, because given the offensive prowess of this Fargo side, you do not want to give them this equalizing goal and carry on their momentum. But Bob Slinger is doing a great job of finding some of these central passes. They are linking up quite well. This could be a 2v1 opportunity if Cloud can get central. Cannot find Mal on this side. Another aerial heading back towards their own net as they try to reset here. And that's a great center ball out there for Shark Bite off the front post, and S-Phase Suddy tucks it away, doubling it out. A great pass this time from Captain Cat. We've been praising his shooting, but that's just as nice. And an important goal there as they try to equalize the series.
And indeed, one score coming in. The Burnsville Inferno eliminating the Mankato Atlas and ending their season in 5 games. Burnsville gets the winner of this series, or gets the loser of this series, excuse me. So loser of this series will play the Burnsville Inferno in the lower quarters, which is essentially the lower round 2, to go to the lower semifinal. But Burnsville get it done in 5, and I mean, honestly, just an incredible showing for them as they eliminate Mankato from the tournament. And I mean, if you're Mankato, you don't take that truly to heart. You fought had a really good season, but one of these teams is going to have to lose too, and they're going to have to play that Burnsville team that's hot off a 5-game win.
Yeah, that is a resounding scoreline, and I no hate towards the Rising Star to Burnsville, but I completely forgot about Burnsville Inferno and how strong they were. And we're talking about strength. Fargo here giving themselves a shot here.
Not over it yet.
It's not over yet. Again, they just need to let Mal keep passing the ball to Cloudy because that seems to be the recipe. So many chances here being built out. There is a shot here for Fargo, and he needs to find something. This could be a chance. Bobslinger plays it slow, goes off the sidewall. Need to keep this one up here. This is going to be quite the ask as that one falls to the ground. And we're talking about series up in 5. This one's going, it looks like it's going the distance. 2-2 as the Knights answer back once again.
Eat it is Captain Cat. It's 2-2. We go to game 5 now to Deadeye Canyon. This is my favorite map. Because anything can happen at this point, V. But winner gets to go on to match point if Fargo able to come back and get that game. They would have been up 3-1, and it would have been a massive, much more advantage. Now with Green Bay winning this game, it flips that script and really gives them a way better chance of winning in this series. Because being down 3-1, odds are completely stacked against you. There's not a lot of teams that have come back from 3-1. Although Brock and I know all too well that a 3-0 lead is not safe either, even on land. So no lead is safe, really, but confidence is what I'm looking at, V. When you go on to that series point, your confidence is at an all-time high. We beat these guys 3 times. We can do it one more time. But I'm telling you that final 4th game is the hardest game to win, and it always will be.
I agree. I mean, I'm coming from my team had a few reverse sweeps in our major recently, and it is that mentality of assuming, hey, we just need to win 1 out of 3. That's all we have to do. We can do that. Is so dangerous. You really need to be on your game, and the job's not done until it's done. And I think both these teams know that. They're familiar with many game 5s, as you see throughout the whole season. It's such a competitive tier Rising Star is. Each team that we think about, I mean, we just brought up this Burnsville side, and I'm just like, that's a really good team. Chicago, that's a really good team. Like, all these teams show they're competitive and their skill. Oh. They're seeing some skill there from both sides. Captain shot. Great save from Cloudy. Mal trying to set up again, sets up Cloudy. What a counter attack. And that's just what Fargo needed. Wow, that is just such a swing of momentum right off of a great play and save.
All the way down the field, Mal pinches it off the crossbar, really, and finds Cloudy sitting in the perfect spot to place that one home. Fargo with a incredibly fast counterattack. And Green Bay are stunned at this point because they thought they had a goal. Captain Cat, you have the best goal scorer in Rising Star on your doorstep with a free open shot, nobody contesting him. And Cloudy puts a hand up and just denies it away as he's got a flick shot on target. But Sonny rises to the occasion for Green Bay and turns that one away. Now getting bumped by Mal. And I mean, you got to watch the corner boost, V. That's the big thing for me in Rising Star. With how competitive these teams are, like you said, we really don't know who's going to win. We have no clue. For me, the boost game is a massively important part. You see a lot of teams that get scored on simply because they just don't have boost. And watch the pad lines, watch the pads in general on the field, and also watch who gets those front corner boosts when they're on offense. If you see a team stealing those corner boosts, it can get hairy for that defensive team really quickly. As Green Bay pressing, trying to tie up this game. They've only got 3 minutes to do it before it's a 3-2 advantage, but they have hung right with Green Bay, or have hung right with Fargo in this series, V. They have not, obviously they're the higher seed, but they need to make sure they stay confident.
Yeah, it's a real showing. I think coming out from during the major where this Green Bay side lost 4-1, and the Fargo Seahawks were the top seed going through the whole after the first round.
Yeah, I remember that. Yep.
3-0, and that's with some strong teams. I think they only dropped 2. They actually dropped 2 games to Burnsville, and then the other 2 matches were 3-0s against Hibbing and Duluth. So this is a team that was really on their game, and the Knights are able to answer and really change the competitiveness that we've seen and slow their momentum but they're
Indeed.
going to have to find something here, or else it is a dangerous situation, because as soon as Fargo smells blood, they could be feeling like they're home free. Sunny trying to pop this one up to top scorer Captain Cat, cannot quite connect on that defensive read. Backflip from Mal, Shark Bite trying to send it to the front post, and quite get it past. And it is a showdown. I do agree with your point also with boost grabbing, especially I think as you go up the tiers from Rising Star to Challenger to Premier. It's so important, and that's a big deciding factor when it comes to players' comfort on low boost, how they're able to manage it, what touches and clears and mechanics they're able to pull off. I think players at the highest level, at the Premier level, they are comfortable with just 2 pads and they can do whatever they want with it. But that might not be the case in the lower tiers, as you see there. Some of that sustained pressure paying off. Captain Cat just in the right place. Again, a great pass from S-Baves right in front of Bob Slinger and evening this one up.
And you talk about low boost. You know, you said some of the top higher level players can manage off of 2 pads. I don't know what I don't remember what the stat is, but you should be able to aerial to the ceiling from a grounded position with only I believe 30 boosts, maybe 29, something like that, the number, but maybe 33 actually is the number I'm thinking of. But you know, with this game, that's a huge goal for Green Bay, and the reason why is I did some homework over the break, V, and looked back at the best of 7s that we had in all 3 leagues, and the team that has gone up 3-2 is 13-2 overall in clinching games. In the 2 games they've won 13 times, and only a team has lost twice. So this is a really, really big game for these teams. Cloudy knows it, has a shot, but Sunny has the turnaround save and gets off the backboard in time. 13 seconds. Fargo pressing an advantage off the backboard. Cloudy, look, missing. That might be all the way down the net. Shark Bite has it with 5 seconds. And it completely falls apart for Fargo.
Oh, Cloudy can't quite get the read. The rotation with Bob is not fast enough. And again, this counterattack from the Green Bay side, it seems like they might not have as much sustained offensive pressure, but they don't need it. They're able to capitalize on the mistouch. We only have 4 seconds here. This is all-important game 5. This ball is going to the corner. Bob can't go get the read, and it's the big flip. I think this is the first lead that the Knights have had in this series, and it's the most important one as they're heading into game 6 with a chance to really make it into the next round.
Fargo has their poker table completely flipped on their head. Has completely dumped it. And I mean, that is a tough scenario to be if you're looking at the bracket. It can be dropped into chat. There it is. If you're looking for the bracket, got to change that and an exclamation point. But oh yeah, how the turntables, how they have happened, because Green Bay has a massive advantage here. Up 2-1, obviously up 3-2, excuse me, but winning that game 2-1, and it all fell apart for Fargo. It just completely squandered it. But do we see a game 7V? Do we get there? Because Fargo has to find this game 6 if they want to see a game 7. Otherwise, they're going down to play Burnsville in that next match we'll have for you. As originally we were going to stream the upper side, the upper lower quarter final. There's 2 of them. We're going to stream the top one, but some other circumstances happened, and so we will stream the bottom side, which will feature one of these 2 teams. But I mean, Captain Cat definitely does not want to be in that match. Looking to go to the upper qual, gets the first on the board. 6 seconds in. Ka-chow, definitely, as Green Bay strike first early on. Fargo, what do you have left?
Yeah, that is the worst possible start for this Fargo side, knowing they're already going to be chasing the lead, and especially after the way the game 5 finished up, where it looked like it was going to overtime, and then one mistouch, you lose the game. So you want to reset, but you can't really reset because you're already down again. They're going to need to find an answer here. Is it going to be through Cloudy? We've seen him through this whole series, showing the skill and prowess that he does have, and Mal, of course, setting him up. Bobslinger trying to find some passes as well. All three of them are going to have to work as a unit to get this result and to extend this into Game 7. I can see it happening for sure, given how back and forth every game has been. Big demo there from Bob. Cloudy takes over. Could be a chance to find Mal in the middle. Great pass, great finish, returning the favor for all these previous great passes Mal has, and we're tied up.
And that is a huge goal as Cloudy and Mal combine once again. This time it's Mal on the receiving end of the goal. Gets that on the board. A massive, massive goal to put it really to put Fargo in a better spot. They're not chasing it. Now they're chasing a goal to take the lead as they are pressing monster clear from Captain Cat, though. Has stepped up massive for Green Bay in this series so far. Found obviously the one of the two that won them game number 5. Now into game 6. What do Fargo have left here, V? Because I mean they're able to tie up the game, but now they're pressing their offense, really putting a lot of pressure on this Knights side.
Yeah, I think they're playing with a lot more freedom. It seemed a bit reserved after letting that first goal. Don't want to go down 2 goals. Now they're trying to find their rhythm, their momentum, and Cloudy is syncing it up. We've seen a few double commits, but nothing too dangerous. And that's a mistouch from Sonny. Captain Cat, Mr. Kerchow taking control, gets us on top of his car, looking for a pass, looking for a demo. Smart play there. Doesn't have the ball's momentum to test the net. As this one bounces in the middle, Bobslinger now puts it off to the side. Captain Cat with the touch, maybe not what he's looking for. Drops it down the middle though, confusing Bobslinger. Can't quite get the read. This one's cleared out, but not far enough as Mal is adopting a great midfield position, really locking this ball in the offensive zone, doing what he needs to, leaving that one for Cloudy, and it's all swinging towards Fargo, but we've seen the counterattacks from Green Bay and what they're able to do on with no pressure, so it could be it can really go either way because both the teams are really playing to how they have this whole series, and it's been an even showing so far.
2 minutes on that clock. The dinner bell is rung on Fargo. What kind of French dish can they put up? Cloudy off the ceiling, trying to find one more touch. Captain Cat own goals it. And Cloudy just put enough lead into it, put enough pressure on it. Sharkbite can't make contact on the ball. And Captain Cat's gonna own goal the lead away and possibly own goal a chance for game 7 for Fargo. As 2 minutes to go. Can Fargo hold on? I'm trying not to curse them as Green Bay has a chance right off the kickoff. Not a ton of boost here for Fargo on defense.
Yeah, that could have been the curse there. We're talking about boost. Maybe Captain Cat was able to get to that one and forced to own goal. Regardless, they'll need to find something now. Cloudy has really been all over the field so far, as is Mal. They're really playing offensively strong. They're syncing up well. They're finding their passes. Sonny put this in a dangerous spot. Important read from Cloudy. Does get this one out. Sharp right now into the corner. Trying to get a double with low boost. Can't quite get enough momentum here. Mal's trying to tip this one down. Gets it towards net, but just wide. Captain Cat needs to get this boost here. Minute 15 remaining now. This is not what you want. The ball's just sitting in the corner, but flicks it around Cloudy. Intercepted by Bobslinger. There's just no offensive momentum so far for this Green Bay side. They need to find something here, and something fast. It could be in this chance here as Sonny puts it in the middle. Can't get around it. Important defensive touch from Bobslinger, and this one goes rocketing towards the net. Can Sonny get it? He gets it off the post. Some big saves coming up from both sides.
And Bobslinger only has 52 points in this game. Has the shot though. On target, Mal gets caught out. Now it's Captain Cat one-on-one. Will be demoed by Mal as he deletes him from the field. Fargo, flip reset, Cloudy, fakes it out. Tries to bump Captain Cat off the spawn. Has the shot, Bobslinger shoots it wide. 36 seconds left. What does the defensive Green Bay have? Because they got to get out of their half and get this all the way down the field. The pinch may work out for you, but Bobslinger's ready and waiting. Has the save across, will collect the corner boost. Is Cloudy off the ceiling. Will look to collect and just like keep away off of Green Bay, who are trying to run interference. Only 8 seconds left. Ball into the corner. Can Fargo hold on here? Shot off the backboard. Sunny, and that shot goes missing. It was Captain Cat to do it. Fargo has forced the game number 7.
It just had to be game 7 to kick off the night. It was bound to happen. Both teams deserve that opportunity. A great showing, and unfortunate own goal from Captain Cat, and great resilience from the Steelhawks. I mean, shot breakdown. We have 9 shots for the Steelhawks, 4 for the Knights, but they went down early. They went down within like 6 seconds, and the Steelhawks were able to focus up, calm down, find a great passing play. Cloudy setting up Mal, and some good fortune to get the second and hold on defensively, maintain that pressure. All around great performance from the Steelhawks, and incredibly and almost expectedly, we have a game 7 between these two great teams.
And Bob Slinger didn't even crack triple digits, only had 80 points on the game. Cloudy leads his team to 482, Mal with 210, and Captain Cat 314. The rest of his teammates did get quite a bit of points. They got more points than Fargo did, but Fargo had the better chances, and it was Cloudy to step up once again to put his team into a game number 7. And are we going to see a 13-3 record instead of a 14-2 one? Because Green Bay has all the luck on their side, but can they ice up on the really the toughest field in Rocket League?
Yeah, it is a real showdown. It's a real chance and opportunity. Both these teams will make it a lot easier themselves if they can focus on this one game. Not the entire season, but most of the season coming down to just this one 5-minute game. Are they able to find what they need? Fargo looking quite strong early on here is a big dunk from Bob. Goes across the net. Mal, off touch. Bob tapping this one towards the net with some pace. Sharkbite needs to get a read here. Does send it out wide, out into a dangerous area. Mal trying to find a teammate, but both the teammates have rotated out. But again, interception from Bob. I think he's been playing quite strong early on in this game. Mentioning that he only had 80 points last time, and there's the impact that we needed to see in Game 7. Massive demo, great control from Cloudy, and Fargo takes the early lead.
And a great play from Cloudy. Gets that on the board. 4:23 to go. What do Green Bay have to answer? What can they get done? Off the kickoff, Captain Cat decides to, switch the car and go back to an Octane. Will that be his demise? As Sunny has the clear down the field, Cloudy collects, gets one touch, and another demo by Mal on the backline. Sharkbite spawns in and gets removed again. As that is just, they're just playing ruthless at this point. Fargo is pressing every advantage they have. Sunny back into the middle looking for a teammate, but doesn't have anyone to pass to. Sharkbite midfield. We'll leave it for Captain Cat. This has been Green Bay's best goal scorer all season. Can he bring them together and even up this game 7? Maybe it's Sharkbite to do it. The shot percentage is better than goal scoring.
Wow, that came out of nowhere. I thought, Cloudy gets the touch and Bob Slinger's right behind him. That takes 2 out with a massive dunk from Sharkbite, and wow, I mean, some big showings here. It's back and forth. We're seeing impressively a lot of demos from this Fargo side. I don't think we've seen that in any of these games prior. So maybe it could be a change of play style, trying to catch them off guards, but they're not too caught off guard because Captain Cat is getting his goal a game knocked off here, gaining the advantage, giving these Knights an early lead again and again. We're seeing great passes from Sunny, setting up his teammates, and so quickly the Knights now have a 1-goal lead.
It wouldn't be plans, V, without a game 7 to start us off. But Sharkbite goes missing. Sunny, though, has his teammate covered, clears the line. Green Bay getting some fortune to go their way now as they lead the game 2-1, but I don't want to speak too soon because Cloudy and Bob Slinger are creating havoc on the front half of the box for the Knights defense. Sharkbite, though, stays in front of the ball. Will kind of touch it off the backboard, give it away, but does clear some time, and that's really what's against them at this point. Green Bay having to hang on for 3 minutes has not been an easy task against Fargo, who have not been bad on the offensive end so far in this series, have done a great job of finding the back of the net. Now they're going to find it once to tie up the game and one more to win it. But if Green Bay can find another goal, it would be huge for them. And as I say that, Sonny steps up, the veteran in the lobby. Maybe the old guy in the lobby going to have a pitch pass go right on his hood. Mal just doesn't hit the ball and doesn't expect Sonny to be there.
Yeah, he thought he had more time, potentially wanting Bob Slinger to come out of the net, get that forward momentum to clear it out. But if you give Sonny that much room, he will make you pay. Great touch and a great center ball. Bob Slinger this time can't go get that one on target. That would have been a real quick chance of answer that they needed. Cloudy now going off front post. Kept it great touch, but sets up Shark Bite. Works out for them. They are getting some good fortune and some calculated plays here, but they will not be complaining one bit. Great pass from Cloudy, trying to find Mal, and that doesn't sync up either. They're not able to get this last touch that they're finding. Their opportunities, these chances, they're really working out well for Fargo, but they're just not able to find that last touch that they need. And with 2 minutes left on the clock, they'll need to find 2 goals, or else they'll be dropping down to face off against the Inferno.
Minute 50. Maybe Green Bay can hang on, but yeah, this one is definitely going to haunt Fargo if they don't get it done. They work to get to Game 7, but they squander Game 7 away. So far they have. Sonny has the second on the board for him. 4-1 lead. Green Bay is in the driver's seat, and if Fargo isn't careful, they have to come back now down by 3, and you need an explosion on the side of the Steelhawks offense.
Yeah, they just need to throw everything at it. We've seen hints of it, we've seen some of their play, but they really just need to, 3 goals in 90 seconds, that's going to be tough to do, but if anyone's going to do it, it's Cloudy. We've seen him all day, and what a shot that is. Incredible. Again, setting up from Mal, and what a flick.
As well.
That is insane.
He slams Shark Bite out of the way and hits the ball still and scores it. Posting in, can't make that save. As now off the kickoff, Bob Slinger off the backboard. Shark Bite's gonna be awkward. Cloudy's there. 1 goal game. Cloudy has put in 2 in about 10 seconds.
Wow, that was another great pass from Bob, centering it out. Impossible Shark Bite to read that one, and it needed finishing, and Cloudy does so. And all of a sudden, we were already talking, oh, the Knights are going to close this one out, 3-goal advantage. There is so much time on the clock. They just need to find one more as Cloudy sends it the corner now. Can he find a teammate? Sends it slowly to the front post. Sonny taking his time, and great demo from Captain Cat. This could be a chance here if you can flick it over the top. Gets the demo, bounces straight up. I don't know how that went that direction, but it did get centered. Cloudy looking down the field, trying to find Mal, but he's looking for boost, unable to get it. Again, more low boost here from the Fargo Steelhawks, but they can't get that one in. Important save from Shark Bite. This is a shot almost on target. Mal gets it close. Oh, there's so many chances here. They're really pushing the issue. 45 seconds remaining. Can they find the answer that they're looking for?
40 seconds. We've seen magic at 40 seconds before. We won't see it there. Bob Slinger, no boost as he misses that corner and doesn't collect it again, but wins 2 50s. Captain Cat, last back for Green Bay, gonna keep the line up. Cloudy, another beat on the ball, has a hat trick in Game 7, trying to will Fargo to an overtime, but only 20 seconds to do it. Mal pops over 1. Is anyone there? The bump comes out, and it was Bob Slinger to bump him out of the way. Cloudy has the shot, and ice in Game 7. We will see a 4-4 tie with 15 seconds left. Do we have some Fargo Steelhawk kickoff luck?
Oh, this is an incredible turn of tables. Mal sends it off to the side. Bob Slinger now sends it off towards the back wall. Shark Bite, been defensively strong this whole time. Sends it down. Cloudy pops this one up in the middle. Mal needs to get a touch here. Drops it back towards the zone net. Shark Bite's hanging out here. This will come out towards the middle. Can Bob get the read? He can't get the read. Captain Cat almost gets the shot. And he can't
Oh my God.
Oh, so safely. That could have been it as we head into overtime.
Oh my God, the nerves. Captain Cat had a chance, but is able to clear it away. Cloudy, one-on-one with Captain Cat, will dunk through. Cloudy has been huge in Game 7.
Middle.
Can he put one more on the board? No one there, Mal. It was him to take the shots. Bobslinger forward. Shark Bite is awkward. Doesn't have a ton of boost. Bobslinger is in, and Fargo has completed a massive comeback to win games number 7.
Oh, that is insane. I cannot believe it. I was so locked into the Knights taking this one up 4-1 with, who even knows, 90 seconds left. And just the turnaround, the offense, the kickoffs, everything was going the Steelix way, and they couldn't find the answer, but they did when they needed to. Fargo, in essential and important Game 7 victory to send them to the upper finals up against Hibbing for a chance to qualify for LAN. I mean, what an incredible showdown.
I know.
That was
What
an
a
insane way to start it off.
What a series. Obviously now we're gonna see, Green Bay drop to that lower bracket and play Burnsville on that next streamed match. So they're gonna get another chance to be, you're gonna get to cast them one more time to see how they do. But in other news, Chicago continues their run of form into this plans and has defeated Bloomington and has eliminated Bloomington from plans and for their season in a Game 7. So Jungle gonna go on to play in that lower quarterfinal, but yeah, I mean, an incredible series to start off. It was a really, really good one. I think that we saw as close as it could possibly be, really.
Yeah, it was really everything you want to ask for in starting off with this showdown, but it definitely doesn't get easier for this Green Bay side. Looking through who they're coming up against, this very tough Burnsville Inferno team, who previously, I mean, in the major of what we can base off of, beat a strong Bloomington side who we saw recently get knocked out. They took Fargo to 5 games. They ended up taking Chicago to 5 games, who are probably the hottest team in Rising Star right now. So they have a record of success. They're showing they're competent and a strong team, and taking down Mankato 4-1. Never really know what to expect, but we do see Green Bay is performing quite well here. If they're unable to close the door, but setting themselves up nicely. Just that they'll have a bit of a harder grind to get into this LAN spot. But I mean, coming up, it's gonna be a real competitive matchup between this Burnsville and Green Bay sides.
Yeah, and in Inferno, I'm gonna get the loser of this past series that we just casted. That can be the bottom side quarterfinal. The Burnsville Inferno and the Green Bay Knights. We're gonna send it to a real short break, but we will have the Green Bay Knights once again playing the Burnsville Inferno in the lower quarters. All of the quarterfinal series have been completed. In the upper qual match, it's going to be a doozy. We'll have that one for you after this next one, but we'll have an updated bracket for you guys to look at after the break. But for now, we're going to send it to a real short break, and we'll see you guys when that next match comes up.
came from a broken home. I've seen so many people go. Learn to make it on my own. It's easier for me to be alone. So how are you? Keep cutting through, claiming you're not like the other guys. And only if I could give you a chance, show me that you mean it, we'll feel some type of way. Why do you keep chasing clouds? Better leave before I feel something. Before I go and change my mind. I said, why do you keep chasing clouds? Better leave before I feel something. Before I go and change my mind. Something must be wrong with me. Keep wanting just to see you show up at my door. Et même quand je suis froide, un peu indifférent, tu continues tout de même de montrer tes efforts. I'm trying to keep my heart in peace. I just can't think about the way that I feel. It's too hard to trust. I mess it up. I just can't risk to be falling like this. Oh, why do you keep chasing clouds?
All right, back again after a crazy Game 7 overtime, hoping for more of the same. And we're seeing one of the two teams that we had just seen in the Green Bay Knights. But another new face that we have, aside from the incoming Burnsville Inferno, is my co-commentator, Mr. Ari. Hope you're doing well today, and I'm interested to see what are you looking for in this series.
I've stated before, I've stated this in the overtime cast when I was on it. I've stated this in previous broadcasts. I am a big Schlonkers simp. I will have Schlonkers be winning against Green Bay, and I will have them doing it in 6 games. I don't think it goes to Game 7.
The only issue is Schlonkers is on Bloomington, and this is Burnsville.
This is Burns.
Bloomington. So I apologize for the
I misheard.
fan, but
I misheard.
Burnsville. Yes.
I don't want to talk about it. They sound the same, okay? They do.
They are quite similar, and I think as we're a little bit on time, we can definitely get this rolling and do some intro as we go to kick off the games. I'm interested to see. I mean, personally, I'll give my prediction early on. I think, as you mentioned, Schlonkers, I'm a big Owen fan. I think he is a great player when he's on his game. And coming out from a 4-1 victory over Mankato, I think this is a team that has some momentum. And we could see a little bit of hesitation, a little bit of negative feelings if the Green Bay Knights get down early on in the series. They could think, oh, we came all this far just to lose another matchup, and that's not the start you want to see as Burnsville comes through with an early first goal. So I'm going to give it Burnsville in 6 will be my prediction.
Yeah, I just don't know how Captain Cat is in the fattest car I've ever seen in my life. That is the Roadhog XL. I don't know how light that car is going to feel. He kind of needed more lift off the ground there. Kind of hard to aerial when your car weighs about 10 tons, but, you know, not able to find the aerial. And I don't know how this team's going to regain, because it seems like they're playing off. I mean, 2 goals right away, and that's to be expected off of kind of the way that they lost that Game 7 they had of, you know, we all know 3-goal cushion. And they lost it in OT with a very unfortunate touch in front of their net. And the goals before that weren't really all too much better either. So already kind of a shaken up squad, and you have Burnsville, who is coming off a win. So I just think that even if in the long term maybe Green Bay start getting more competitive, and kind of shake off the nerves a little bit, that head start, that mental and and these teams are not far away each other in terms of talent. That the edge in the mental is going to go a long way, I feel like, especially in a 7-game series. So yeah, especially Burnsville being up 2-0 now is good signs for things to come. So yeah, I do have Burnsville still in 6. Yeah, even though Schlonkers isn't on the team.
It was a quick transfer. I agree. I think it's definitely difficult. It's a long series, and we're jumping right back into it. I mean, Quick Rising getting the 3 goals at 3:33. It's just comprehensive as it gets. Their hits are a lot stronger, and that one just goes right past Shark Bite. And I think losing a Game 7 in a where you really had a chance to close out the game at many chances, it requires short-term memory. You have to just jump right into this. Think of it as just another series, just another match day, like how we've had 2 match days all season. If they're able to persevere and be confident in their ability, I can see them. We've already seen them play so well previously, but it seems like there's a bit of a disconnect. We've seen like some double commits, just some patience. No one's really attacking the ball as they need to, and going in here only having 1 shot as a whole, and the ball mostly on their defensive end. They're really going to need to turn this around to give them a carry on some of the momentum we saw at points in the previous series.
Yeah, and like you said, 1 life left. They've used theirs, and again, momentum swinging in the form of Burnsville because they are up 3-0. Now, just around halfway done through the game, and there's still enough time for a team to start inching their way back. Slay Panther trying not to allow that, but Captuna keeping them at bay. For now, the pressure still mounting, pops up middle. Only buys him so much time as another shot comes through. Slay Panther's double blocked away by Espage. He doesn't have the boost to carry this. That's an awkward play in front of the net. Captuna's touch. Scary, but Quick Horizon gets smoke screened by his own demo. Pressure is still there. Captuna clear. Only goes as far as Quick, and their offense falls apart after that, but only so much time spent on the defensive half as they try to clear it out.
Yeah, solid defense there. An unfortunate demo. I don't think it was aiming for it. Trying to get to the ball.
Oh, no, what?
Speaking of unfortunate, that is one of the goals of all time. I don't know how that happens, but I can guarantee the Knights will take it.
Owen was just caught off from that bounce, and he tried to half up to recover, and he ends up doinking it over his teammate who was already going for it. It's just a bit of a miscommunication, but I mean, that's Rising Star. It looks pretty solid, and then just a couple awkward situations happens at every level of the game, but maybe that's the crack in the door that Green Bay need to find themselves back in the game. That double commit looking a bit scary, though, because minute 30 left. I mean, if Steelhawks are able to score 4 goals in a minute 30, then we should be able to, right? I mean, similar deficit, but more and more time ticking away, and more time of this ball being spent in their defensive half, and nothing really happening. Captuna trying to clear this out to the midfield. That pinch isn't going to do it. It's just going to go over to Slay Panther, who gets it on one pass over to Owen. Shot just kind of tapped at the floor, unable to find anything, but the pressure's still there. Shot, no one there to find it. Back pass goes a little bit high. Slay Panther doing good to control it, but the touch goes away from him, and Captuna capitalizes. It's not only a 1-goal game with just over a minute left.
Wow. It seems like some goal donations. Slay Panther gets the touch, and then unfortunate jump there. Captuna Cat again, the benefactor, putting this one away, but it has just been all Burnsville so far this game, but somehow there's only 1 goal in it. They're going to need to find something here to double this advantage. Important save there from Sharkbite as this one goes towards the net, off the crossbar, and Quick Horizon gets that double goal advantage that they need to solidify this game 1. Just outpacing, unfortunate touch there. No one's able to capitalize on it. Quick is too quick and tucks it away, and Burnsville restores some advantage, and I think they should have this game 1 as long as there aren't any more defensive mishaps.
I mean, that's how this game's been going. It's been major defensive mishaps on both teams, and as we're talking about it, one almost happens there. No one able to capitalize on the side of Green Bay. That shot goes wide, harmlessly to the corner, but the double commit makes it really scary. That's a well-placed shot, but it doesn't find its way through. Captuna getting a huge beat on the defensive line, able to find a little bit of breathing room. Not really a lot of boost to carry this past his midfield line, but that 50 really going in advantage of them. No one on Green Bay to play out second, though. Spave's a huge dunk. Goes right to Quick, though. Gets his own dunk on the backboard and stalling out time now. 6 seconds, 2 goals. I just don't see it happening.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Oh, I don't see it happening, but anything is possible. I've seen some crazy things today so far, and Sharkbite there, that one bounced over the top. It could happen if there's a beneficial kickoff, something that rockets off the sidewall. You could have a crazy start off to this series. As we're talking about a sidewall hit, there it is. Captuna Cat needs to get underneath this one, and he can't quite get it. And Burnsville will take this first game of the series.
There's a lot of defensive mishaps from both teams on both sides, I feel like, but at the end of the day, Inferno just come out on top, and for the most part, they had a lot of them. You can definitely see that in the shot total. Holy moly. I mean, that's just Owen by himself having double the entire shot total of the Knights. I mean, they go 3 for 3. A lot of that was, even that last goal in those last waning seconds of the game was off of Inferno just triple committed in their corner. One of the goals that Knight scored was an own goal from Inferno, again, on a double commit. So, Inferno looking a little shaky on defense, but offensive-wise, their third's rotating in I noticed that their third is rotating in a spot where he covers second, and second plays really aggressive, so they're able to clean up any clears that come through on the side of Knights if they're not all the way down the other side of the field. If they only go out to midfield or even a little bit past mid, they have someone there to take advantage of it to keep the pressure on and keep it in the opponent's half. And that's what allowed them, I feel like, to get that many shots in that game, and I think that they're going to try to keep doing that in these other games.
Yeah, the sustained pressure, I think that is definitely something that's happening in this series so far. It's something that we mentioned we used to do in the previous series, where a lot of these clearance touches are not what you really need. It's a lot of stuff that's staying very central and is not a full clear, a full reset where you can go get boost and potentially get into the offensive area. There hasn't been that much for the Knights in the previous series and in this series, but it's something they can turn around. Maybe the Scarab is the answer. Captain Cat is thinking that as he takes to the skies. Shark Bite now over into the corner. Some slow possession play from Quick. This one going off the front post. Important touch from Owen. Big 50 from Slay Panther going to the attacking space. Kicks it out to the middle. No one's there to follow this one up. This one's just popped up. Owen's a little bit too far up to read on it. It does get a touch. Some passing plays coming out for the Inferno. This one's just playing, hanging around into the midfield. Teams are slowing it down in this game too, and looking to get an early lead, because if the Knights drop this game too, they could be they've already in for a longer haul, but it could be quite hard to turn this one around.
Yeah, I mean, it's going 1-0 down in a best of 7 isn't the best position, obviously, but it's not the worst either. You can easily rebound it, take a game, use that momentum, maybe win 2, but going down 2-0, again, not impossible, but it's just, you have your opponent can go on match point at any point throughout the series. You kind of really need to be really strict with your mistakes, and with how it's going, it's not looking like that's going to happen. A good play in the midfield, and 1-0 up. They continue the momentum from game 1.
Yeah, great shot there. Just getting ahead of Shark Bite. Really blasting that past the defensive line. Yeah, the demo, seeing some shakeups there on the defensive line. Messing with the rotation. We didn't see too many demos in the prior series, so again, a different play style. And we are talking about momentum, and obviously that Burnsville is riding that high of winning 4-1, but it could be even more difficult for this Knights team. That I do feel like sometimes if you go down early in a series, especially after you have a heartbreaking loss previously, it's hard to come back and be resilient and really be motivated again and again and again when it comes so close. But they're showing some work here. We're seeing a lot more offense from Green Bay, and if they're able to turn this one around, put themselves in a good position to qualify, because that's the benefit of the upper bracket. You give yourself another life, you give yourself another chance, and they do need to reset, because it seems like the Inferno are pressing the issue and playing just a bit faster compared to the Knights.
Yeah, and again, I think it just comes back to the way they structure themselves. Their defense, again, looks a bit bunched up, but when they're on offense, they're spread out. They look to be in a really good position, and they're really good at just keeping it in that blue half over and over and over again. Their touches seem to be high quality. Their commits are fast, and maybe Green Bay's not so much. Just Quick's just going to get a gifted goal off that whiff. He'll say thank you very much and just drive it into the open net.
Yeah, just where's the defense? There's no one there, and Quick will definitely take that one. Is quite the showing, quite the chance there. Owen now up against Shark Bite. He's neither able to make contact as this one goes out into the front. Quick will capitalize on this one. The ball is just kind of left here for anyone to go for it. Shark Bite gets a clear, finally clearing the lines fully, going into the offensive area. This is where they need to maintain the ball, create the chances that they want, and trying to find a pass to Shark Bite, who had already jumped. It could be a dangerous situation. Owen flies for it. Neither player able to get a touch. This one goes up to the skies. Shark Bite now with room, trying to get over Slay Panther. Does so. It doesn't have the boost to follow it. This one's sent out to the right. Some more passes coming through from this Knight side. Maybe this is something that they want to look for. to generate some of their offense. Quick draws this one, rolls it down. What a play between Quick and Owen, setting each other up. And again, we saw it last time. We have a 3-goal lead for this Inferno side.
I saw that developing as soon as that double commit from Knights happened in the corner. The quick counterattack, the clear out to the person on the wall, right back down in the middle. The 1-2-1. And back to the second as well. I mean, it was just ping pong between those two players using just the counterattack so well, and putting it in such a high spot for that read made it really hard on defense for them to do anything quick on his defensive line. Keeps it 3-goal lead, but I mean, with 40 seconds left, even 2 goals probably suffice. Captuna trying to find some sort of momentum. Slave Panther, I really like that play not to panic on the goal line, just to keep it controlled. Forces Green Bay to challenge him, and they get bunched up because of that. Now they get some offensive room, but Captuna controlling it really well on the sidewall. Quick, a bit awkward from that. Espe is able to follow up. Nothing much coming from it. A big clear out the other way, and they have to work their way back on offense again, and that's not going to do it. Slave Panther there for the beat, not there for the 50. That's a shot on target, but Quick's there, and 8 seconds left. I mean, this Green Bay side's just looked deflated since that loss, and right now you have a Burnsville side that, yeah, they're making blunders on defense, sure, but their offense is just so much more suffocating. They're so quick on those counterattacks. They're so good at keeping pressure that they're able just to hold Knights to where, yeah, if our defense is bad, it's whatever, but if you can't even get on the offense, it doesn't matter.
Yeah, it is all-encompassing, as I tend to say, for this Inferno side. They're defensively strong, as opposed to when maybe in some rare cases they have had some missed touches and misplays. But yeah, I mean, it feels like these first 2 games, the Knights haven't really had a goal that they have generated that is in a like competitive area of the game.
It was like them. It was just more so, yeah.
2 handovers by the Inferno in the first game, and then a 2-second goal when they're already down by 2, and then they were shut out this most recent game. They haven't been able to generate what they need and generate the offense that they're looking for, and I think that's hard to counteract when we've seen so much offense already. They really, in this game 3, I think it's essential that the Knights are able to get just at least one goal that they generate off a passing play or a sync up, because we're seeing some great passing plays from this Inferno side, capitalizing on this clearance. Great pass from Quick Rise, and Espace can't quite get around it, and Slave Panther tucks it away into the middle of the net.
Yeah, just a good passing play. That goal kind of showing basically every reason why they're up in the series right now. Better team play, better offense, quicker to the ball, shots are better. That's a huge clear the other way, and it's threatening. S-Babes has to control it. Beautiful control touch. Gets it only as far as one player, though. Are they finding anything more of it? Owen a bit backward. I keep saying O-V-V-N and thinking Oven, but I have to get my brain to think that those V's forms a W, but you know. Owen still
I've done it.
good touch out. That demo clears some space. Slave Panther has to play this one. It's dangerous out in the middle, but good touch out. Forces Sharkbite to be backward. Captuna, his third man, gets dunked. Now Sharkbite on his last leg has to sell time for his team. Doesn't get the touch, but it stays in the corner. Nothing happening. Big back pass though. Beautiful possession play. Slave Panther now with boost. What does he have? Only gets as far as Captuna, but that's played right out to Quick, who pounces on the ball quickly. Slave Panther with a huge beat. Pops it up. Forces S-Babes to go. More and more boost being expended on the side of Green Bay. How long are they going to last? Long enough to get the save. That passing play finding its way almost through. Not able to get to the back of the net, though. Back the other way. Oven slowing this one down. Quick bailing him out. And just some signs of life, I think, for Green Bay. They're not down 2 goals quite yet.
Yeah, I like that third man demo that we saw that created an opportunity, and there could be something here. Cat able to beat out 2. Doesn't quite get it as centrally as he wants. This one kicks out to the middle for Sharkbite. This will pop up. Slave Panther, good clear out from to the side, away from the net. Captuna Cat once again trying to find a pass, but it just hasn't quite connected just yet. No one's in that offensive area to manage it. This one kicks up high. More space here. Slave Panther not able to get the read. Sunny beats 2. Well done here. Gets another good 50. Just working hard to get this one in the middle. Captain Cat trying to launch in the middle, but again, Slay Panther on the defensive side has done a great job of clearing lines and clearing them forcefully, making sure there's no follow-up and bringing his team to the offense. That's really what this Knights team needs to continue to do, as we see here. Let's launch over the top because they need some more offensive chances. Great catch from Quick Rise in here. Trying to put it under pressure. Kicks it out towards the middle. Owen this time. Hit by S-Faves, and once again, this not enough boost, not enough pressure to sustain this offense, and it's looking tough here for the Knights again in this all-important Game 3.
Yeah, and just more what you said, they have opportunities where it's contested, but they have to kind of make a play, and they're just not making the play. They're just not getting around the defense, and like you said, Slay Panther, not only are his clears over the defensive line, but he's staying behind the ball. Even if he doesn't get another touch, he's forcing the defender to have to challenge and get it around him. They're not just giving away a free possession, so it's making it just tougher and tougher for this Green Bay side on both ends of the field. As Owen tries to widen the lead, Captuna trying to say no, but Slay Panther with a huge beat just off the mark, could have made it a 2-goal lead there. Owen keeping it in though, not able to find the beat. Captuna, all of his boost expended just for that one touch. He's able to find space though. But Quick, shutting it down quickly, that clear, giving them some space. Slay Panther having to play this one off his back corner. It's a nice pinch out, forces 2 to go. Shark Bite does keep it in. Shot opportunity, S-Waves with a huge beat in the midfield off of just nice pressure and challenges from Green Bay.
Yeah, great pace. We saw that previously. S-Faves, when he's in the middle of the pitch, when he's going towards the ball, he does tend to beat them out to it and gets a clean win. Just what they needed. Seeing the ball hit the back of the net, knowing that they're in it, especially with one minute remaining. This is dangerous though, as Burnsville counters on a, of course it's got to be a kickoff goal. Owen sends it to the side, gets it, beats around 2. Really well done also to leave that one. Slay Panther potentially calling him off there because he has a great shooting chance, and oh, that one's got to sting for the Knights to work this hard to get that opportunity, just to have it come back and
not even 2 seconds later.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, it was a kickoff goal in quotes, but I mean, with who was it? Owen with what, like 20-ish boost, whatever you have when you're done cheating, probably 20-10 boost, gets it around 2 people, all by himself. So it was definitely avoidable. Although it definitely wasn't, the situation wasn't favoring them. But I mean, yeah, it's still just got a sting. You finally get a goal. Your first one where it felt like you really did something, and it just gets taken right back. And now Burnsville looking to stall just more and more time off his clock. They got their goal back. They don't need another one. They just need this win. They want to take it to match point. They want to force the reverse sweep, and they're accomplishing that right now.
Yeah, they're doing what they need to do here, and the defenses look strong so far. They need to hang on for 10 more seconds. Looking again for this pass to the middle. Sharkbite's not quite in the position he needs to be. Owen finding something out of the middle. S-Faves takes this one. Captain Cat needs to prop this one up. It does come out towards the middle. Could be a chance here. 2 up.
On target.
Oh! A great shot from Sharkbite. Oh, what a finish there. We saw the double commit up there. I thought this was not going to work out, but great shot and great placement there.
Slay Panther, almost getting a touch on it. No, Slay Panther was last back. You usually want someone to challenge that for you just so that it's harder to shoot it. But he didn't. I don't think he had enough boost, and there was no one behind him. So just a really unfortunate spot. Could be Green Bay's chance. They look more alive. They're sending everybody looking a little bit too energetic. They leave their net open, and that might just be match point. They smelt blood in the water. The gold chain was dangling in front of them, and they just flocked towards it like a bird. Just blinded by the shiny little, net, shoot it, but just nothing coming from it. They send everybody at the ball and get nothing out of it. And so deflating. You take it to OT, you clutch up with a 0-second goal, mind you, and just like that in OT, throw all 3 of your players at the ball and just leave a wide open net.
Yeah, that is incredibly unfortunate. I think they just saw their opportunity. Like you say, they've been forced to defend so much in this series, and they even it up. They go to overtime. They see a chance to win this game, and it just doesn't work out. And they send the third man who doesn't get quite the beat that they need. And when you do that without a touch, it's bad news usually on the defensive end as the Inferno take this game 3, and it really is it's going to be a real tough climb. It's a tough ask. This would be probably one of the more surprising turnarounds if this Knights team is able to win 4. They've been through a gauntlet of a series previously against against Fargo. They're down 3 games. They need a reverse sweep out of 7. It's all stacked against them, and that's not how you want to start it off. As Owen takes the skies, unable to get the read on the defensive line, and it's looking difficult for the Knights.
It's a nice read by Owen. Yeah, hits it up really high. Usually you don't want those touches where it just goes so high it goes to the ceiling, but higher level players are going to be able to read that and kind of treat the ceiling as if it was a backboard and use that to threaten the touch, and that's what he does. He gets his car behind the ball, he threatens the beat, forces the defender to have to play his touch and just plays it under. But yeah, I mean, another opportunity off a quick kickoff, and just more and more things not going in the favor of Green Bay. That's another one to chalk up to the tally of things that went wrong this series for them. And I mean, beautiful 50 by Owen, and Horizon right there to play that shot. Couldn't have been any closer. And yeah, 2-0 up, game 4, down 3. You know, game 3. You know, you're down 0-2 if you win one. That's not like you're not in an impossible spot. You're only down 1 game in the series now. You have a little bit of momentum, especially in an 0-2 overtime when like Owen is going absolutely crazy in this game 7 right now. He wants the series to be over. They don't want to move on to the next one. Yeah, I mean, it's just a nice 130 top left. I mean, nobody in the net. They didn't really have to place that, but still a nice shot. But yeah, I mean, you could scrape away by being just 1-2 down. That's definitely manageable. Just kind of find your bearings back in the series after that loss from the last one you played in, but they just haven't found it, and I don't think they're going to.
Yeah, it's been difficult. It's a tough ass to turn around. Need a lot of mental strength, and coming in potentially with 2 rookies on your side and Captuna Cat and Sharkbite. We have a lot of experience in S-Baves as well, but being put in a situation in a land environment, I mean, they will take any goals they can get. It's obviously not over just yet if they're going for it, and you know, if they can get the goals, I think this is the best chance that they have to get it back in here. I think if you're just playing for fun, if you're keeping the spirits high, it's obviously really tough to do in this case, but I think it's the best bet to get back into this. They just start going for it. If it doesn't go their way, at least you try doing something different. And yeah, I mean, they're still in it. It's 2 goals. It'll be a challenge, but it's possible.
I think that Green Bay were just trying to use quick put just another one in. I think Green Bay this entire time I wouldn't say they're not taking it seriously, but I mean, especially with the kind of cars. I know Captuna does change his car a lot, but in the other series, it was like Lightning McQueen, which is still like, you know, a matching. It's not the best like hitbox but it's not like the Roadhog XL or the Scarab. You know what I mean? Like, I think the kind of cars that they're using and with the way that they're playing, I mean, they're just throwing everyone at the ball. They're pre-jumping each other all the time. I think they're just trying to have fun, and I think they're accomplishing that. Obviously, Burnsville are playing on a different, kind of in a different universe right now with their mindset. They want to win and move on to the next series. Is it just, you know, 5-1, 3 minutes left? I mean,
yeah, it is tough. I think just losing that series, you hate to say it when you see such a great contest between these 2 teams, and the team coming back just is unable to have things go their way, coming so close to setting themselves up, and I just think they haven't been able to reset. They've been, who knows, the comms, the synergy. It feels like they're just sitting back, and they're not taking as many risks as they need to. We've seen like the offensive diversity that the Inferno are able to do has been like they're doing passes off to the back wall, they're looking passes into the corner, they're doing infield play, they're hitting off the ceiling. There's always someone who's playing off of a hit. And I feel like we've seen a few midfield passes for the Knights that they haven't been able to connect on, and otherwise it's just been solo plays, booms down the clear, and anything that the Inferno have given to them. And I think that just is a standard way of playing, of just holding on to what you have, but it's not going to win any games when you need to go out and press the offense. So
Owen.
Being a press the offense, it's just been an insane showing from this Burnsville side. Not to take away from the skill. We've talked about how the Knights maybe aren't the same team, but it is really impressive what this Inferno team is putting together.
Yeah, I think that it just comes down to the fact that, like, they're not, you know, that lean position, you know? Someone what saves you in a casual game, you lean forward in your chair, you're more focused, you know, you lock in, right? I just feel like Green Bay has not been in that kind of state of mind this entire series. They don't really feel like they're playing in that lean position, you know, like leaning forward, locking in. It just, they've I can definitely tell that's the way they're playing. They're playing a little bit more for fun right now. And as Quick makes it 7-1, I don't know how many goals that is for him. 4. 4 goals. Owen has 3. Slay Panther has 0. Come on, Slay Panther. You really need to put something on the board for your team. I mean, like, it's a close game, and when you're not scoring anything, I don't know. It's a bad look, but
Yeah, it is.
I mean, it could be 10-1. I don't know why he's scoring. Yeah, I mean, he needs to step up. Yeah.
Yeah, Quick. Well, Quick is 4 for 4. He is.
Yeah.
Anything he shoots is just working out, and I think this game is obviously all but done and dusted. And looking ahead, I think there are going to be some real they're good matchups, because we've already cut out a few teams. Obviously, we've said goodbye to the Bloomington Maulers, who lost in Game 7 against the major finalists, the Chicago Jungle. We've said goodbye to Mankato, who lost 1-4 against this Burnsville side. Minneapolis knocked out. And as we see, the Knights are having their last hurrah. So two spots are coming down to these last 4 teams. I guess I'd say, Ari, which of these 2 teams are you predicting to get a spot, as we see Sharktype put one away?
Probably Jungle. I don't know what kind of things they ingested with what they did in the roster window, but they've been a completely different team ever since then. So, I mean, Jungle with your lower finals, I mean, there's definitely a lot of teams in the upper final, if they drop down, could be definitely a challenge for them. But with the way that they're, I mean, they beat, I mean, credit to Bloomington, 10th place seed, and they almost took into Game 7. I don't really know how that game went specifically, but it could have definitely gone either way if it goes to Game 7, so I mean, could have been either way, but they win that one, and then they 4-0 Miracles, and I mean, I don't know, I just see him going that far, and right now with the way Inferno's looking, I mean, I feel like Green Bay could have put up a better effort this series, because it's not like Fargo's a lower level team by any means whatsoever, and they took him to Game 7, it's close, and then you play against Inferno, who is a lot lower seeded at least, and it's just not even, I mean, it's a 4-0, they almost got Brazil in Game 4, so I don't know, it just didn't feel like the Knights that I saw from last stream, but maybe there's a reason behind that. Like I said, maybe they're just trying to play more casually, more for fun. But yeah, I mean, regardless, it's gonna be Burnsville versus this Jungle side in the lowers. We're not gonna watch that though. We're gonna watch Hibbing versus Fargo next, which both of those teams, Hibbing had a good start to the season, fell from first, and Fargo kind of has been in that top 4, top 5 contention for the entire season. So
yeah, I think it's going to be a great showdown. That's going to be really fun. That's going to be the first of our 2 matches to decide who is going to qualify for LAN, which is going to be quite exciting. And it's against two strong teams. I mean, Fargo in the previous major coming in as the 1 seed, and Hibbing came in as the 4th seed. These 2 teams will really bring the competitiveness. I do agree. Hibbing seemed a lot strong earlier on. See if they're able to continue their victories as they look to qualify for the all-important LAN spot. But before we get into that showdown, we're going to head off to a quick break. And when we're coming back, it's time to decide who is going to be booking their ticket to River Falls. Be sure not to go anywhere.
Another week or will be not.
Welcome back, everybody. Short break. We're on schedule. What? Did my cam? No! My camera broke! Oh no, my camera, it's broken. Alright. Hold on. There we
Anyways,
go. Alright.
we're back with Midwest Car Soccer. And, alright, this is the upper qual. This is the last hurdle for these teams to lock in their land spot.
Yeah, and whoever wins this, of course, moves on, gets that qualification. But on top of that, there is some history between this because in the major not too long ago, this was the same matchup we were dealing with, and Fargo swept the Rangers. And Rangers in like a top 6 seed, but since the roster window have not only have they were undefeated and they flipped from being undefeated to losing a lot. Not only have they been losing a lot, but they've been losing to basically, it's not just top teams, it's not just tough matchups. They've lost to lower seeded teams as well. And I think after that roster window shifted, you had teams that had more consistent players or just more of a well-rounded roster. And I just think the big key is consistency, because if they can play like they do when they win, when they go undefeated, then I can see them having a chance. But if they've been playing like they have been recently for the season, then I don't see it. But
yeah, definitely. I think, you can bring in some great firepower in the trade window. That's really what it's there for. But the advantage of having your team for the full season, you're building that chemistry, right? You're playing with these players week in, week out. It's at the climax or almost at the climax of the season. And this is it right here. Do or die. You need to make it happen right now, or, you're going to be out of luck. So I believe we have all the players in the lobby. We're going to get it started for you. Right now, Hibbing Rangers and sorry, Fargo. Yeah, thank you. Fargo Steelhawks. I'm forgetting the teams out here. It's been a little bit since I've casted MCS out here, but upper qual match. What a way to come back on it. And Fargo just coming off of that big win in Game 7 overtime against Green Bay Knights. And that's, to have that momentum coming through, it was a little bit of a close series at times. We all saw that first game where they absolutely dominated the field. But the rest of the games were very, very close, besides Game 2. So if Fargo can play how they played in that series, really make sure they have their passes on point. And, I saw a great performance from Bobslinger, too. You might not expect it, that third salary player coming in, but, firing on all cylinders for Fargo here, and Hibbing really have their work cut out for them.
Scored that series-winning goal in OT, and it doesn't. I was talking about the regular season performance from the Rangers. It doesn't matter how good or bad your regular season was, the ups and downs. It all just comes down to the playing bracket, whether or not you go to land. That's all it comes down to right now, and right now it's Fargo pushing the envelope on offense, but a quick sidewall double back the other way causes some confusion on the defensive line. They're on their back foot. T-Jack lays shot in. What a save from Mal. He reads the crossbar bounce, keeps it out back the other way. Now possession played in corner, and Fargo coming off with the skin of their teeth on that defensive play.
Yeah, and Fargo, something they do really well is just locking this Hibbing team into their own half. That's a big miss from Kamo there. Shot on target, but will be saved away. A double commit effort will require it, but they will eventually get it out. Back into the corner with Cloudy. Back across, and again, right there. That's exactly what I was trying to say. They go back and forth, corner to corner, back to the middle. Make it really awkward for Hibbing to get it out of their half, and they put that pressure on and on and on, and eventually they find their way through. 2 minutes in, Cloudy will score the first goal of this series.
Cloudy, major goal scorer, has been known for that. Made a reputation by doing it. Made a reputation that Game 7 by putting away 4. And continuing that streak and putting one away here. First goal of the series. Definitely won't be the last one. Bob, he can do in the corner. But Mal back over to Cloudy. Double tap attempt out just off the crossbar. Can't find it. Hadron now out to the sidewall. Can't find the follow, but OJ will be there. Now Mal. Touch out. Beautiful pass over to Cloudy, who has the boost to play this out in the high. Wait, that's just an awkward bounce off the ceiling, and no one there on the defensive line to aerial for it. Quick 1-2 counterattack passing play. And just an amazing capitalization off of just a slight overcommit.
Yeah, and that pass from Maul as well. It seemed like a very simple touch to get it out from his own backboard over to Cloudy there, but it was a crucial one as well. And the more I watch Cloudy play, and the more I watch this Fargo Steelhawks team play, I'm reminded of that Messi transfer over to Inter Miami. You know, they're kind of a mid-team, right? You know, Maul and Bob Slinger, they're not bad, right? But they're not going to carry games. Cloudy completely changes the dynamic of this Fargo team, and they're way better off for it. That's another big miss, but they will fake out the defender, and Bob Slinger, the OT winner himself, will put one in.
Just a beautiful play from Cloudy. He could have shot that. He could have played for the goal, but knowing that Jack kind of has to dive at it, he just puts it off target, and there's absolutely no hope that Jack can really do anything about that 1v2 advantage, and 3-0 up. All the cards in their favor up until that point. OJ slips it under the defender off a kickoff, and all of a sudden that goal just gets erased, and now it's only a 2-goal deficit.
A little bit awkward from the defense there. I think expecting that high shot, but it's just low on the ground. And Kama will capitalize on that opportunity. 2 minutes left, plenty of time to get 2 goals here, but they've been trying to find themselves after being rocked by 3 goals from this Fargo team. Now back to the corner with Cloudy. He will go missing there. Maul quick to the wall, back to Hadron. Up in the air, back to Kamo as well. Can he get a good touch on it? But will Bobsling with another block? It will find its way through. Now Cloudy the other way. Another fake coming through, and a little bit of chaos after some organized play from the last 3 minutes. Cloudy will have to make a save off his own backboard, and does. Over onto the corner. That's an awkward touch. Will come out to Hadron, but that's a weak shot. You're giving it right to that Fargo defense, and they're happily going to clear that away.
Yeah, and like you said, Fargo doing what they do on offense, being so suffocating, just keeping so much possession. Their challenges are so quick, their finishes are so good. This is an open opportunity. They just need to get down the field. They do, but it's just high off the crossbar. They keep on coming with the shots, though. That's a dangerous ball in the midfield. OJ goes missing. Jack's there for the rebound off the miss, but Mal patiently waits in net. Rotation, keeping it low. I love, oh my goodness. Just so much poise on the defensive end to just, bit of a misplay on the first touch, but keeps his car behind the ball. Makes it so much more of an awkward play for the defense. Triple commit on the side of Rangers almost works out. And no one really in a good position on Fargo to do anything about it. This one dangerously on the midfield. Shots just tapped at that, though. That's going to be an easy save for Cloudy. That's a dangerous ball. Played down in the middle, but another save coming out from Cloudy. They keep it off their goal line, and they keep it a 2-goal lead.
That shot from Jack was probably the most venomous that Hibbing have had in the past 2 minutes. They've been missing all over. They're getting a tap on goal. It's easily cleared away. And again, once again, Maul to Cloudy, the dynamic duo. And Cloudy with that simple looking double touch. But that may just clear up the game here for Fargo in game 1.
Cloudy with a near 100%. Yeah, he has 100% goal participation. 3 goals and an assist and a 4-1 lead as it is right now. And I mean, that's what you want out of your star player. Not only is he higher salary, higher ranking, but he's also has so much experience playing in the league. He's had season after season being a high-level rising star player, and that consistency in times like these with such an unforgiving setup bracket in a more unforgiving season with even more teams in the play-ins is what you want. And so far, it's what they need, because he's been the leader in basically every scenario that they've needed him, including this one.
Yeah, Cloudy hitting a different stride tonight. You know, earlier I was listening to the broadcast and someone was like 800 points for Cloudy in this game. I think it was game 1 of that series against Green Bay Knights. He's done it again here, game 1, 4-1 in favor of the Steelhawks. Cloudy with a hat trick and a savior medal as well, 1 assist to boot. And Maleficent getting those other 2 assists to finish that off, and Bob Slinger with that remaining goal. So, yeah, 7 shots from Cloudy. He's been all over the pitch. But something I want to point out as well, Jack, 4 shots and 0 goals. Like I was saying, you know, they're getting these shots, but they're either too weak, they're going wide, they're not quite on target, or, you know, they did have one that was very, very good, but it was saved away. Both defenders were in net. They're not, you know, making Fargo awkward at all, just kind of throwing it at net and trying to see what happens. And I'm looking for that spark that they started out the season with, that they went on that 6-0 run, that undefeated run that really defined the rest of their season and got them in a spot in the play-ins pretty much automatically. So, yeah, for the Rangers, they're going to have to come back on this one. But it's a long series, all right, only game 2, but still a lot of work to do for both teams.
Yeah, and I mean, it's not impossible, only 1-0 down, but the way the momentum is, it's not looking like it as Cloudy just piles another one on. Picks up right where he left off in game number 1. Jack, that touch is just not going to cut it. And just not able to rotate back quick enough, and it's just split right through the defense. And I'd love to say not only are Rangers' shots not really the fastest or the most well-placed, but most of the time it's also their last man having to commit for a really up front, in front of the box shot. They're being really aggressive, and that's not allowing them to keep pressure. If they don't put away that shot, or at least make it threatening and force the defensive mistake, then their entire offense will crumble just because they have nobody that's rotated back to deal with a clear or a passing play down the field. There's no one that's really in a good spot to turn on it. So they're sending all 3 players at the ball on offense, but it's not been working out. It hasn't worked out for the better half of this season. It hasn't worked out against this team in the major, and it's not working out against this team right now in play-ins. And how much longer are they going to be able to survive? It's not impossible. Only 1-0 down in the game, only 1-0 down in the series, but I mean, if Cloudy keeps playing the way that he does and Fargo keeps putting up the good offensive showing that they have been, I don't know how long it's going to last.
Fargo has also locked down their defense as well. When I was watching that Green Bay Knights series, that's a shot on target, a great save from the defender there on the Fargo side. But when I was watching that series against Knights, all right, never mind, I'm not going to talk about that point. I'm going to talk about this tying goal instead. Hadron, he's been pretty quiet. I don't think I've even said his name, more than a couple times so far this series, but here he is, stepping up for Hibbing Rangers right here.
They're speaking about power and placement, and he has both of that on that shot. Top right corner. Good power. Off of a good pass, but is that going to be enough? Tied game 1-1. Good 50 out from OJ, and that's open. Let's need to center it, but the defense scrambles back in time, and a triple commit coming out. That's what I was talking about. Rangers so overcommitted on that offensive end. It goes right back down the defensive way. Cloudy pre-jumps off the ceiling, gets the read on the touch, almost finds a goal from it. That would have been an absolutely huge play, just the ego, to go for that pre-jump. There he is on the defensive line, clearing the way. Now on the counter-attack, Mal pre-jumped. Cloudy goes for the solo flip reset, forcing Jack to go for that. And now he has possession on the sidewall, and it kind of equalizes here in the midfield as Fargo try to find their way back on offense.
These consistent flip resets from Cloudy have been a joy to watch, and they're really changing the game for Fargo here. But as I was going to say before, Fargo's defense has really stepped up. When I was watching that Green Bay Knights series, it seemed like a lot of the time their goal was just open, right? The Knights were able to get goals that maybe they shouldn't have been able to get because nobody was back. But you're seeing Cloudy and Maul as well, go on that third rotation, that third player rotation. Make sure you're going all the way back. And it's a little bit reminiscent of Justin as well, making sure he's back, getting that clear ball from the Hibbing Rangers, and then going for a solo play, making a passing play happen, making something happen to put pressure on this Hibbing team. But they've been trying their best for Fargo on that front, but still no luck. Still a tie game with 2 minutes left. That might change for Hibbing right here, but a good save from Maul will keep it out.
Yeah, and you see a lot of mechanical players. You see the clips and the highlights, but you don't see how they position off the ball. A lot of mechanical players position as second. They have someone else do the dirty work. Bob Slinger putting that one away, but it was Mal this time. Double demo. I mean, that's about as free as a net as you can really get there. Cloudy was there for extra assurance if there was a mistouch, but can't make it any more free than that. And yeah, you see Cloudy and Mal playing off each other. They're taking turns being first man. Bob Slinger again being a good support, filling in when he can, but you have two really quick players on the same team. They can both play a good first. It's such a strong offensive spearhead that they have, and with the way they're rotating back widely on defense, it's making it really hard for Rangers on both sides of the pitch I thought that was going to be an equalizer, but Cloudy was hiding away in the top of the net, gets a squishy save, and keeps him alive.
That needed to be an equalizer. You know, it's a hard shot with Cloudy right there, but you have to be able to get that angle. You know, you have all the time in the world to get up to that one, but I like that you brought up... Yeah, well, yeah. I like that you brought up Cloudy and Maul, though, because I talked about the chemistry that Hibbing have here. Oh, Cloudy might find his way through. That's a little bit awkward. He's just bouncing on the Hibbing goal line. Finally, they find their way out. That's a pinch. It will be off target. And Cloudy will have to bang it off his own backboard. But, yeah, I neglected to mention earlier when I was talking about the chemistry that Hibbing automatically have because they've been a full team for the full season so far. Cloudy and Maul have played together. You know, I'm thinking when they were on Minnetonka Barons with Doty and... you know, played that whole season together, essentially. So they played together before. They know what, you know, makes each other tick. They know how to make things happen on this team. And Bob Slinger is doing a great job of filling in the blanks and filling in the spots that he needs to. But filling in the spots is something that Hibbing can't do. I was going to say they got 15 seconds to make a goal happen, but no, make that 13 seconds. It's looking worse and worse by the minute.
And another 100%. There has not been a single goal this entire series that Cloudy has not contributed to in some way. 2 goals and assists in a 3-1 game right now. He has 752 points. For the series, he's averaging almost 800, which is absolutely ridiculous. For the series against Green Bay, probably something closer to 500, but still just... when the average points is around 200, 250, and you're averaging basically double that, that's like having 2 players on the field, essentially, statistically wise. And I mean, he's playing like it. It was close, that match. Rangers had a chance to equalize when they were down by 1 goal, 2-1. They weren't able to find it. Multiple chances that game, but again, I just feel like in the long term, I don't know how effective that triple man hard commit on offense is going to treat them.
Absolutely. Not sure if everyone watching at home saw it on the broadcast, but one of Cloudy's tags from that game was Guardian Angel. And I agree completely, Rocket League. Guardian Angel is exactly his name tag. It exactly describes what he did in that game. 4 saves, once again, getting that Guardian medal right there. 2 goals, not quite a hat trick, but, you know, Bob Slinger again filling in that extra goal. And Rangers taking a second to try and think things through. Go back to square one. All right, the game plan that we had going into game 1, going into game 2, it's not working. And I really want to see them calm down a little bit. You know, the plays that they're going for, they're kind of wildly attacking the ball. I'm running it right into game 3 right here. But yeah, they're kind of wildly attacking the ball. It's not really cohesive. I want to see more passing plays, you know, going for demos maybe, interrupting Cloudy and Maul. If you delete Cloudy off the pitch, he can't hurt you as much. Just go for it.
Yeah, and I mean, Rangers and Rising Star, especially last season, was a very physical team. This one, though, I mean, they have Jack, who has history being a more demo-heavy player, and not like super demo, but I mean he has a physical side to his game. But yeah, I mean, that's not the triple commit you want to see out of Rangers. They're not going to get punished for it just right away, but that really halts their defense. No one really having any boost. But yeah, I mean, if they're gonna send all 3 people at the ball, you might as well have someone on the rotation out try to find a bump or a demo. But it's really hard to kind of stay and keep your stay in the orange half and delay your rotation when your third man just went for a ball and there's no one on defense. It puts you in a really awkward spot where you could play even more risky and try to get a demo, which might clear up space. But if that doesn't work, then you're just kind of leaving your net open. So I don't know. We'll see how they treat it out, because if they don't adapt, it's gonna just keep going the way of Fargo, especially with the way that Cloudy's playing. I mean, he has found a different form right now in this playing bracket. He's playing out of his mind.
Yeah, absolutely. But yeah, right. It has to be the good time for a demo. You know, you got to make sure it fits in with your rotation. I like that you brought that up, but you have to adapt, like you said. And that's the problem. You know, good players will be able to adapt to their surroundings. Bob Slinger, I mean, wow. I did not rate him as much as Cloudy and Maul coming into this series, but he has absolutely stepped up, scoring that first goal of the 3rd game for Fargo here.
I mean, his role in the team is definitely filler, but he's doing it really well. He's hitting the shots when he needs to. In some games, he might have not had triple-digit points, which usually you don't like to see that out of a player. But it's not like he wasn't doing anything. It's just the way that the cards fell with the positioning and with the way that Cloudy and Mal wanted to play. He's getting more involved. He doesn't have that much time on the ball, but whenever he does, he finds so much value in it. Cloudy trying to find value in this play. Gets a beat on the sidewall. Now Mal cheating downfield. Doesn't have boost, but he has the ball. Threatening shot has to force the defender out. Cloudy up in the air. What does he have? Double tap attempt. Not going to find his way on target, but Bob's there to collect it. Keep pressure going. Pass getting blocked away. And more pressure mounting for the side of the Rangers.
Yeah, a little bit awkward there. Oh, what a goal line save. How did that not find its way through? Jack there now. Big hit off from Maul. Back to the corner from Kamo. Cloudy there, but is 50 down all the way, but back to that Fargo side. And I cannot believe that did not go in for Fargo there, but back in Cloudy's possession. That's not what you want to see if you're a Hibbing Rangers fan. Hadron facing his own goal. We'll leave it, actually. Cloudy trying to fake out, too. Almost does, getting that 50 through. Now Jack with a chance to show off his skills, but immediately it's returned to Maul. Now back to the corner. Kamo with 0 boost. Does get a touch on it. Cloudy there to clear it out, though. A little bit awkward. Past one. Maul. They're having a party. It's Fargo. It's all 3 of them. Where did Hibbing go?
How is there more? There is 3 Fargo players on Ranger side and 0 Ranger side on the actual side of Rangers.
Like, how does that even for a demo? And there was nobody to demo.
There is nobody. They all just, as I said, they send their entire squad at one offensive play, and with how quickly and consistently, it's not just Cloudy, which makes it such a pain to try to play aggressive because, yeah, you might send 3 people and get Cloudy to maybe get off the play, but Bobslinger can comfortably pass the ball. Mal and Cloudy already have so much chemistry, and they're quick, and they're mechanical, so it's just so tough, and I just don't think they're making the right call to be playing even more aggressive than they already were, because as you can see, it's not working right now. They're about to go down. What is this, game 3? Yeah, it's game 3. It's all blends together. I just see Cloudy playing good, Rangers not really able to keep up, and it feels like a similar story to game 2. It feels so much of the same. It's so hard to discern it, but. And they have an opportunity now, and they needed to put that one away. 2v1, I mean, they needed a minute left. They need 2 goals. That's just not what you want to see.
Yeah, not at all. I mean, it's still recoverable. It's not a complete blowout, but Hibbing, you gotta change something. You know, I want to bring up a word that you said before, adapt. You had some time between game 2 and game 3 to try to adapt, try to get another game plan. Now you have 1 minute, or not even, you have 50 seconds, and you need 2 goals, otherwise Fargo will be on match point, and that is not something you want to see on the Hibbing Rangers side. 40 seconds to go now. Bobslinger comes out to him, back off the middle. It's not a great touch, but they do get it away for now. Jack, again off the wall, can he get down for it? Ground pinch will go back to the other side, and every second that is wasted for Hibbing here is very, very bad news. Bobslinger, I thought maybe he'd dunk that one down, but not quite. Cloudy. Oh no, that's an no. You could just see the awkwardness come out from that one, and 21 seconds. That absolutely is the nail in the coffin.
I mean, I like the way they were playing that ball. They just kept tapping it up in really awkward spots on the backboard. They had no boost, no hope of reaching it, just buying as much time as possible. And there was absolutely nobody in the vicinity to shoot that ball. Just absolute panic coming on the side of Rangers. They've been triple and double committing the entire time on their defense and offensive end, and it's about to be 4-0. And this is, I mean, I was talking about adapting, and with commits and double and triple commits like that, you know, if you're awkward, it is what it is. But, you know, you guys there's communications, there's play style. You could try to play more slower, more spread out, but I just don't see anything changing, and I don't see the series changing, let alone a reverse sweep, if they don't do anything different.
Cloudy going for a musty here at the end of game 3 for style points, possibly won't find its way through, but yeah, for Hibbing Rangers, like I said, you know, 50 seconds ago when they had 50 seconds left, now they have 0. Now Fargo is on match point, and they're ready to take this series and book their ticket to land. They got 4 chances. They only got to win 1 of them, Ari. and then they'll find their way through. But on the Hibbing Rangers side, that last play, that fourth goal that Fargo was able to score is really awkward because the player missing that ball and then a clear downfield, the third player was caught in no man's land because they were expecting that touch. And of course, the other player in Fargo's side going for that corner boost. So, he was they were nowhere near the goal trying to make a save. So, yeah, not surprising to see Rangers again taking time, trying to come up with something different. But I agree, that aggression that they came out with in that game was really not it.
Yeah, I mean, it's just like there's just no compete. I see Rangers just so giddy on everything. I don't know if it's just nerves or what, but the amount of triple commits is unreal from both. I was talking about it for the first 2 games. It was mostly on their offensive side. Defensively, it might have just been a double. But that last game, there is at least, I could count on more than one hand, which should be way too much, the amount of times they triple committed on just defense. And I mean, one of the double commits are bad. Triple commits your entire team going, but I mean, one of the goals was a panic double commit where they pinched it into their own net, where there was no one even there to begin with to shoot it. So, I mean, it's not like it's impossible when those are the kind of mistakes you're making, but they're going to need to change something drastically. And again, just more people bunched up, all 3 players in the same corner. That leaves the mid open, not able to capitalize as the Steelhawks. But yeah, they're going to need to... Sorry, I have no idea what I just saw.
That's kind of a funny touch. Yeah. No, but Fargo, the problem for Rangers here is that, well, it's a multifaceted problem, right? So you got Cloudy going for those mechanical plays, getting passes from Maul, the passing plays in general, even the Bobslinger scoring those goals, contributing to his team. Jack will have to make a save there. But then you also have those awkward goals. You even said before, they're just hitting it up right there. They're getting the bump, just passing it through, over to the middle, seeing what happens, getting the bump, having someone waiting in the middle to finish it off. We're seeing it right in front of our eyes. Hadron got absolutely smashed right there. And once again, Fargo will find themselves with the lead.
Yeah, it doesn't even seem to... I mean, there is a good defensive stand, I guess, positioning from Rangers. Just no one was quick enough to meet that. The bump coming through, and the last man just left to defend for himself. But, I mean, you want to minimize those goals where those could have been easily avoided. I mean, you saw one of them where there is a defensive clear from Steelhawks, and there was more Steelhawks players on the Rangers' defensive side than there was Rangers to actually play defense, and that's just... I don't know. It's just really interesting. I just think it's nerves playing in. I mean, if you win this game, you qualify for LAN, which is next week, by the way. If you haven't bought your tickets, you definitely should. But I mean, just to have that securance to be able to qualify for LAN is definitely might get to some people. And right now, it's getting the Rangers. As Cloudy out of really seemingly nothing gets a beat in the midfield and just snipes the top of the net.
That's exactly what I was thinking. I mean, where did that goal even come from? But it's that clear. If you notice that clear, I didn't quite see who it was from. I think it was Hadron. Getting bumped by his teammate, not in a position to follow up on it. And I believe the third player getting boost. So it's just missed timings, all over the place for Hibbing Rangers. And Fargo have had the secret. They found the recipe to find their way through. It's really not looking good for the Rangers now. Got more than half the game left to go, so plenty of time to come back on this one, but they need to make a change soon. This could be it right here. Hadron with 0 boost, never mind. That might be a little bit difficult. That's pinched all the way down, and once again, unfortunate, unfavorable outcome for Hibbing Rangers, but Fargo is just unstoppable right now. What do you even do?
Yeah, I mean, even if you have someone back, I mean, that's a pinch from just like absolutely out of nothing, and it just goes to the top left of your net. I mean, it's just not. I mean, it's not over for them. They can lose, they can get swept, they can get beat as bad as they want to. It's not over for them. They have a chance to come back in lowers and have another chance to qualify for LAN. Although I don't know how well that's gonna go if this is essentially, yeah, if they get swept by a team that seeding-wise is pretty toe-to-toe with them, it'll be really interesting. But it's not impossible. Hadron trying to make something happen here. Not impossible. That clear. Just gonna fall right to Mal's hands. Doesn't get the boost. Bates and Hadron, though, that's a beat almost around 2. Jack with a big dunk, though. This is an offensive opportunity. Pass down middle. That's not a shootable angle. Hadron will try for it anyway. Cloudy, huge 50. Brings it over to Mal, who's somehow ready for that to come through to him. More just kind of neutral play coming out. No team really able to budge. Fargo just trying to kill time off the clock.
Yeah, Fargo with the lead, doing what they can to waste some time. Maul going for that fake there. Does get it past 1. And what a 50. Now the other way. Bob Sling, a little bit of an awkward touch off the corner. That's a great 50 off the wall. Pass the other way, or pinch, excuse me. Calmly come back to Cloudy. He'll just flick it over 1. Maul diving in front of Kamo there. No touch for the Rangers player. Back to Maul again. Over to the middle, but we'll come out to Jack, and they actually have some possession that might just float its way in, but no, Bob Slinger with the save. Contributing all over on the pitch now, but we have officially passed less than a minute. Adrian with that shot on target, it's saved away. Maul, 0 boost, but does get it away eventually. Back to the middle. Cloudy made him an goal. Oh, that's right to the middle. They might find his way through. No, the shot so close. It's disaster for Hibbing Rangers. They get so close and they still can't push it across the line.
Cloudy made it a 4v2 for his own team, and the Rangers still can't put it away. The shots just rolled at the net. And every second that ticks by is every single small percentile of Rangers' chances dwindling away. 15 seconds now. 3-0, ball in their own corner. Offensive pressure. I mean, it's over.
It is absolutely over. 5 seconds. Jack with that flick, but it will be futile. We're just waiting for this one to touch the ground. And, congratulations to Fargo. They have booked their ticket to LAN. Remember, like Ari said, that is next week, 13th and 14th. And I believe UW River Falls. But for Fargo, they basically set up camp in the Hibbing area and just said, try to stop me. Try to get me out. You can't. We're going to push our way through a complete sweep to qualify for LAN. That has got to be great for their hopes going into the event.
Yeah, and then that's a really good momentum. I mean, 4-0 against the team that had a good start. And like I said, ever since that roster window, you had some teams forming and they just didn't look like they could keep up. But, I mean, it's not like they're going to have an easier time against Jungle. Jungle, one of the teams that made the grand finals. They had an amazing lower run. Kind of honestly a little bit more of an underdog in my opinion to go that far into that major, but I mean they're on the cusp of making it to LAN, but Rangers don't want to drop out of it just yet, and we'll see how that match plays out when we come back from this break.